Hello, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you are all doing well. If you are new to my channel, my name is Heather, and here in Heather's Book Review, every Tuesday I post a new book review or bookish related video, and typically they're usually thriller reviews. I love to read and review thrillers with the occasional hyped up fiction novel or young adult series. I recently have read and reviewed all of the A Court of Thorn and Roses young adult series, and I'm super excited for the fourth book that comes out in February this month. So super excited for that. But today's review is going to be on I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. I think it's safe to say that Alice Feeney is my new favorite author, or one of my new favorite authors. If you're new to my channel, Lisa Jewell is like the reigning favorite author for me, but I'll be honest, her last book did not do it for me. That was on The Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell, which I can link up here for you. It just didn't do it for me, and I've never been disappointed by an Alice Feeney book. I have read and reviewed his and hers, which also I'll link up here for you if you want to check that out after this review. And then I just today finished Sometimes I Lie, which that will 100% be a review on my channel in March. It was so good. And I actually thought I Know Who You Are was really good too. I was really surprised because on Goodreads, this only has a 3.43 rating, which is actually pretty low. Typically, I don't like to review anything less than like a 3.75. But then I was like, I needed to see why this was rated so low. And I'll get into why I think it's rated so low based off of the reviews that I read after I read this book. But if you're new to my channel, I always, I don't want to say schedule, I organize my videos in a non-spoiler book review. And then after I'm done with that, I tell you what I rated the book and what I'm gonna, for my personal rating, and what I'll rate it on Goodreads. And then I recommend this book for a certain type of reader. And then lastly, I get into a book chat part of the video for those of us who have read. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into the non-spoiler review of what this book is about. And then I'm gonna tell you my theory of why it's rated the way that it is. Okay, so our book starts with a main character whose name I'm totally blanking on, but that's fine. It's not needed. But she is an actress and she hates the limelight. So I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, isn't that your job to be in the limelight with everyone since you're famous? But so she's an actress and she drinks a lot. You can tell she has a ton of anxiety. I will say that was kind of a little bit of an annoying piece for me, was like, oh, great, another female protagonist that's an alcoholic. Yes, that has been a trend for thriller books for, I don't know, the past like 5 years, if not longer now. But anyways, she's an alcoholic and she has all of this anxiety, and you can tell that there's something going on with her husband, like murky-ish waters. And then all of a sudden, her husband goes missing and she is the primary suspect. And she's freaking out. She's like, I didn't kill my husband. I don't know where he is. And she's finding all of this stuff out around her house too. Like, she's finding other women's lipstick. She's finding clues that like someone has been in her house, whether like her husband was having an affair or whether it was the person that like killed her husband. Someone's been in her house. So she tries telling the police this, and they don't believe her. She's trying to tell them like, listen, I've had a stalker for years. I think the stalker might be somehow involved in my husband's disappearance. And they're like, sorry, we don't believe you. And that's all I'm gonna say for the non-spoiler, you guys. You're just left thinking like, did she kill her husband in like an alcohol-induced fog that she doesn't remember? Does she really have a stalker, or is she making that up as like an alibi or a reason to kind of throw the police off? If she does have a stalker, is the stalker involved, or is that just kind of like a loophole that the author is trying to, you know, sway you to go down a different route so you don't really know what's going on? I'm so excited because this is there's like a weird hair flying around. This is my first 5-star thriller for the year of 2021. So I'm really excited about that. I will say that this is my little trigger warning here. There are mentions of child abuse in this book and animal abuse. And as I was reading, I seriously sat on the couch for like 30 minutes before I started filming today and was reading everybody's reviews. Like, why the heck does this have the rating that it does? Because it's good. It's a good book. And it's, in my opinion, because people did not expect the child abuse mentions and the animal abuse. They did not like it. Obviously, it's a turnoff. It's hard to read. So if you're gonna read this, go into it knowing that. Like, there are some messed up things that are talked about in this book plenty of times. But I also will say that in all three of Alice Feeney's books, there have been mentions of child abuse. And I've only read 3. I don't know if she has more than 3. I've read Sometimes I Lie, this book, I Know Who You Are, and His and Hers. So what was I saying? Okay, in 3 of those books, child abuse is mentioned. It's like a theme in her books. And in 2 of the books, animal abuse was mentioned as well. So I think that's just like, I hate saying like a theme in her books, but like it's something that she definitely includes. I think it's something that is obviously like really, how do I word this? It's, as a reader, it's definitely takes you back, right? Like nobody wants to read that, but more times than not, it adds to like why a character behaves the way that they do, right? It adds to that character development piece, or gives you insight onto a character's past and present, or maybe other characters in the book that were involved in it. So go into this book knowing that, and then maybe you won't rate it as poorly as other people did. Also, this book has an insane ending, and a lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was like, I don't want to spoil it. They just didn't like it. I thought it was insane. I thought it was insanely good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not see that coming. So I don't know. If you've been following me for a while, or maybe you haven't, but you've watched a few of my other thriller reviews and you're like, okay, I kind of know the sense of the books that Heather likes and what she doesn't like. It takes a lot for me to rate a book 5 stars. It really does. And I mean, this video is going to come out in February, and this is my first 5-star thriller review in 2021. So my top 10 of 2021 list, because you guys know I create that. Those of you who are not new to my channel, you know I create it like as the year goes on, and like I bump off books or whatever. It is the only book on my list right now because I'm a tough critic, in my opinion, and it takes a lot to sway me into being like, wow, that was a genuinely really good book, or like, wow, I was on the edge of my seat and the ending was freaking awesome. So I liked it. I would recommend this to people who are okay with like very intense scenes, and also someone that likes a book that keeps you guessing, because that's exactly what this book does. It keeps you guessing. You're wondering the whole time. You're like biting your nails. What the heck is going on? You know, making lists for each character, like, maybe this person's the killer or whatever. So I don't know. I liked it. If you read it, let me know what you think. I am going to get into the book chat part of the video for those of us who have read, because I need to see what other people think about this ending. So if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button before you leave and that post notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday when a new book review of mine comes out. Thanks so much for watching, and now I need to get chatting with some spoilers. First off, my theory was that when the stalker towards the end of the book said, I found someone to be her husband, my theory was that it was actually her brother, and like her brother was her husband, and that's why he didn't want to have kids with her, because obviously like it would be incest. And I was like, maybe this is the reasoning, because he knows the whole time, like, this is my sister and like I've been put up to this. I was wrong, but in that regard, but I can't believe I was like kind of right with her brother being involved and being the freaking stalker, and like the imposter is a woman. And I know a lot of people did not like this ending, but I actually thought it was really creative, because when you're in the stalker's point of view and he's at the plastic surgeon and the plastic surgeon's like, I cannot do any more to you because you have breast cancer. You automatically think that it's a woman, but no, men can also get breast cancer. And I think that this is something that like people often forget, myself included, because right when I read that, I was like, oh, it has to be a girl. And then I was thinking it was like that other actress who like they hated each other or whatever, who they were like always competing. Um, I thought it was good though. I mean, obviously the rapey scene or whatever at the end was disgusting. And the fact that I'm pretty sure she was pregnant with her brother's kid, isn't that how it ends? I've read like a couple of books in between. So that part was also like gross. But like, I don't know. I mean, I will say that I rated Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier poorly because that book was so disturbing for me. So I understand why people rated this the way that they did, especially if like it just was really upsetting to you. Um while Jar of Hearts and this book both had upsetting content, this didn't like disturb me the way that Jar of Hearts did. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. I'm not bashing on the people that rated it poorly because I definitely understand that upsetting content is like really a turnoff. And I think it just depends on the book. I mean, because I just gave you an example of a book that really turned me off that I rated poorly because of the content. And this one it didn't, and that could totally just be a bias of like I really love Alice Feeney and I wanted to love this book and I ended up loving it. So I don't know. I thought it was all really, really good. It's not my favorite of hers. My favorite is His and Hers. I just finished Sometimes I Lie, which was really good. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe you're in the majority of people who were like just so grossed out that there's no way that you could have given it a 5 stars. But yeah, that's basically all of my thoughts on this book. I'm happy that I finally have a thriller this year that I feel is deserving of 5 stars. So let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.